watching the VOD, all one of you. uh, we're actually going to not have me double talk in here. Yeah, there you go. I had it open in the other tab. Sorry. So let's take care of that real quick. There it is. So anyway, we're going to be doing some web design today. Super casual thing. I have actually a little board up there above my desk. It has Monday through Sunday, and after Sunday night, I think about what I would like to accomplish or do throughout the week. And I try to keep it very simple. Not too many massive goals. Try to have one or two things that I would like to try to accomplish, and then I go after that. I didn't do yesterday's, but that's okay. I was just learning. Today, my two goals are to commit to learning a technology stack. I'm obviously going to start today with just basic web design, right? HTML and CSS, and maybe, depending on what we build, maybe learn some JavaScript. I don't know it very well, but I want to learn. And what a better way to learn it than to do it while doing something you enjoy. So, oh, that's a little intense. That's a little intense. That's F-Zero. We're not completely does not fit the character of what's going on right now. It's break time with chat. Oh my goodness. There you go. That's the music that's playing. We're listening to RadioNintendo.com, which, by the way, RadioNintendo.com, thank you so much for curating such awesome music. Well, we're going to start in a little bit. I'll let people filter in the chat so they can watch watch all the exciting action doing web design. So, anyway, my two goals, one was to commit to learning a technology stack, which I'm beginning to do, and then build a website. And that's what we're doing today. We've as soon as we type the first line of code, we've accomplished that. So, ready to judge harshly. I have a year and a half of on and off web design experience from years ago. That's changing 2020 because I will, in a very short time, I'll be moving. I will be moving out of Florida. And get this, I want to become a junior developer. There you go. It's going to happen this year. I might even become a full-fledged developer, depending on what I do with my time and how I approach learning. So it's going to be really great. So Fire Kitty, thank you for joining. One of our power enforcers and longtime friend. Really great to be talking with you. Oh no, actually, it's to the contrary. There are tons of developer positions in Florida, especially in the Tampa area. However, the place that I plan to move to there's a lot of unique opportunities, and not just focused around my career, but there's a unique chance to live with a relative that we really enjoy and love. That's good for my wife because she's very close with her, and it's a change of scenery, it's a change of environment that I think we both absolutely would love to have, even if it's just short term. We love Florida. It's nothing about Florida that's that we don't like. And we may even return and live here again, but we could also live in a different part of Florida and not just in the Tampa Clearwater area. So anyway, that was F-Zero. I can't explain why on a very casual pause before the stream we got that song, but man, yeah. So, but anyway, the subject of today's website design is just I've thought about this as I've seen and looked at a few speedrun websites, I'm kind of like, they could look a lot better. They work wonderfully. They do the job, and I have nothing against any of them. But I think it's just been a while since they've been updated, and it's like, why fix what ain't broke? And I get that. But I would just like to make a more polished and simple one. And this will be a portfolio piece, a sample portfolio piece for any future jobs. So, and that's part of the reason why I'm doing this today, is because I enjoy the subject matter. I'm really interested in trying to make a good experience with that sort of thing, and also have something to present to people to say, hey, look what I can make. And by the way, you viewers can make this too. VS Code is actually free to download. I used to use Sublime Text for a time. I used Dreamweaver heavily, just as a text editor. I didn't really use too many other features. Although Dreamweaver does I think it does a very good job with very simple. How do I put it? When I wanted to synchronize files with a remote web server, it made it very easy for me to do, which is wonderful. And I think that tied in with a version control system like Git. Awesome. Which, by the way, never used Git before. I have a very, very basic understanding of what it is and how it works, but I haven't ever had to use it. But I will. And so at some point, when I do one of these streams, I'm going to kind of dive in a little bit into that. And, you know, I'm not an expert in anything in this field. I am a complete beginner, novice. But I'm also very smart, and I can learn things really fast, and you can too. So, and if you're watching this, you'll get to learn some things too, maybe. Maybe some things you never seen or done before. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be right back. When I come back, we're going to begin our stream. I do want to put another text. Can I duplicate that? Right, copy. And duplicate. Sweet. And I can change the properties. Or I can just do this, actually. Properties. Be right back. So let's do that. Oh, thank you very much, Kitty. I appreciate that. I'll be right back. I'm gonna try to find my glasses because I could not find them this morning anywhere. So, bye. I'll be back soon. And we're back. So it was outside of my my field of vision. I rearranged my desk a little bit a couple days ago, and I put my desktop tower right over there behind my right monitor, and it was sitting on top of the computer tower. So no excuse now. I could just take a break anyway, get a breather. All right. Now look like a certified web developer who never goes outside. Yeah! No, that's going to change too. Fitness goals. Fitness goals. Oh, man. This is very intense for what's not about to take place. What is this? The Legend of Spyro. Dawn of the Dragon. That's awesome. What a great one. All right. Here we are. Visual Studio Code. I actually downloaded Visual Studio as well, everything. I got a bigger hard drive, and if you want everything in that suite, in the community suite, it's about 42 gigabytes. It's a lot of space. Maybe not for hard disk drives, but for solid state drives, it's a lot of space. But I want that speed. I want that instant gratification. So let's go ahead and start making things. We're going to start with an index page. You know, why not? There you go. And Visual Studio Code has Emmet integration. Emmet is just an easier way to, I guess, bring out repetitive stuff in your HTML. You know, if you really wanted to look up what Emmet actually is, I'll just search for it, and it'll have a really handy definition. So Emmet is a set of plugins for text editors that allow for high-speed coding and editing in HTML, XML, XSL, and other structured formats via Content Assist. Content Assist is the key phrase there. So there's certain little things that really help you quickly do things that you already know how to do, but you just don't want to spend the extra seconds to do. But I don't use that very much. I may, as I continue to practice, do so. So, speed. We're going to call this video game speedrun repository. Our website's called VGSpeed. Easy name for it. Okay, so some of what you're going to see today, I might throw some terms that you might not know, and that's okay. I will try to explain what I'm doing as best I can. One thing I'm going to put into practice today is with involves CSS. So let's make a CSS file. We're going to do we're going to commit to a how do I put this? We're going to commit to naming classes in the style of BEM. That's blocks, elements, and if I could hit, it's trying to fast complete stuff. Blocks, elements, and modifiers. And there's a simple way to name this stuff. And this is just an easier way to semantically identify what items are in your website design, and also reduce the amount of specificity layers in your CSS. So basically what I'm attempting to do is when I make a change to something, it actually makes a change. I don't have to worry about making changes in other places to make sure that change that I just made goes through, because CSS has a weird way of interfering with itself. So I'll go ahead and just make a title here real quick. We're going to call this main website styles. Table of contents. We're going to make a table of contents too to better organize our website here. One thing I'm also going to do, is this banjo? Am I hearing some banjo? Awesome. Love that. And then we're going to go also craft a color scheme for the website. That's my favorite. That's one of my favorite parts with just starting ideas, is going to this cool website. We're going to go with primary color. Nope, that's not what I wanted. It's still trying to autocomplete crap. Okay. Primary, maybe a border color. Maybe a secondary color. Just kind of winging this part of it. I haven't taken any courses or gotten any advice on color theory. So I know about complementary colors and like triad colors, and just I let a lot of these tools kind of decide for me what I want to do. All right, so we'll go with tertiary because I can't think of another word to call that. All right. First of all, box sizing. Box sizing border box. Okay, and I start with this for some reason. I'm going to look up that reason right now. This is like the Bob Ross for web design. Yeah, it's just sometimes you just gotta go with the concept you have in your mind and bring it out onto the style sheet and onto the document. And sometimes you make mistakes, and that's okay. Those mistakes are just not even gonna say it. That would be very dishonorable. Here we go. Thank you very much, Kitty. First of all, I'm going to bring that website up. All right, so what is box sizing in CSS? And I'm going to go to the MDN. Boom! There you go. So this is a really cool website that tells you a lot about everything related to web documents, called the Mozilla Developer Network. It's wonderful. Looks like the box sizing CSS property sets how the total width and height of an element is calculated. And the properties that you can use in the box sizing attribute, content box gives you the default CSS box sizing behavior. So if you set an element's width to 100 pixels, the element's content box will be 100 pixels wide. Border box tells the browser to account for any border and padding in the values. So if you set an element's width to 100, the 100 pixels will include border and padding you added. So content box means you created a box with a definite size, but when you add border and padding, that goes around the box and expands it. Whereas if you go with border box and you create a box with 100 pixels and you add a border and padding, the border and padding actually is created within that box. So you have your box and it's created within it. So it actually reduces how much space the content has inside versus the other way where it would just maintain the same content size and just expand the outside. And I guess that can be very useful in many ways to have a border box because depending on your approach, you want to know how wide your element is, how tall your element is. You don't want there to be a mystery. Like if you have to do mental gymnastics to add width plus your padding right plus your border right to find out the actual width of the element. A lot of people don't want to do that, and I don't want to do that. So that's why we're going to go with, are we going with border box? Is that what we're doing? Yes, we're going with border box. Right. And that's actually good to have in mind because I've been using that for a while, just in little practice sessions. And I guess I haven't really understood that. So now I understand completely what that does. We're going to do a default HTML font size of 24 pixels because why not? And we do this because when we define font sizes with relative units for like the heading elements, then it's going to be based on the font size of the document. And that font size will be 24. So if we go with 2M as our H1 font size, it's going to double 24 because it's 2, and it'll make it 48, if I remember that correctly. So, all right. I know that Google Chrome does something funky with the body tag. Let me find out first. So we're going to save the main CSS. We're going to create a link element with a what does rel stand for? Relationship of style sheet. And we're going to reference, since we're at the root of the document, we're at the same level as the CSS folder. We can reference it directly first and then go down a step and then say main CSS. I'm going to go ahead and create a header tag. And I'm just going to create an H1 that says VGSpeed, the video game speedrun repository. There we go. All right. So I want to go ahead and bring up my. We're going to open in Chrome. Yep, always use that app to open. There you go. And then if we right-click in this Chrome HTML document and go to Inspect, we can highlight body, and we can see that they kind of show you the CSS box model in the bottom right here. You'll see where there's margin of 8 all around. So Chrome's default style for the body is 8 pixels all around. And I don't want that. I want to define my own. I want to define my own borders and paddings and widths and heights and all that stuff. So we'll go back into the CSS document and we will reset the margin. I meant margin, not border. Margin to 0. And that's everywhere. And actually, I want to center the body in case I define a fixed width or an absolute width. So I want to make left and right auto. So this first one is your top and bottom margin, and then the second one is left and right. It would be the same as this. That would be the exact same thing. Oh, did someone call me? Nope. Emails. Blech. Yeah, I know. I logged into Twitter. Slow your roll. All right. So now, it's going to seem boring, but anytime I start something new, put it on paper. Get a Sharpie, and let's work on some designs. So, no. You don't need to center the body element at this point necessarily. It's just a choice that I make because I like to what I'm going to attempt to do, and I'll explain it as I'm designing the website idea, is I'm going to be starting with. I'm going to bring the camera up. By the way, hello, Pixel GK. Hope that's okay to say. But I'm going to start with a width that would be characteristic of a mobile device. And then as the width increases, I'm going to change how the elements of the web page are displayed through CSS. And then once I get to a width that would be more in line with like a tablet with a retina display or a wider screened desktop monitor, I want to have a fixed width that doesn't bleed all the way to the edge of the page. I want there to be a background on either side and have it look centered. It's a design preference. It's not something that you need to necessarily do. You can just completely allow it to be 100% width or however wide the content is. That's really up to you. What's not allowed, Rock? Don't set limitations on creativity, Rock. You can't do that. How you doing, man? So anyway, paper and pen never fails. I definitely want to start with a, I guess you could call it a wireframe. Just a really simple concept of what I want the website to look like. Okay. I'm going to do the home page first because, well, we're doing the home page. So, how do I want this to look on mobile? First of all, well, I'm going to start with a little button for navigation. It's kind of standard. And we'll go with the title of the website. And this may be kind of a like, why are you doing this exercise with something so simple? I want to have something to reference to. So I can look back and say how I accomplished this milestone or this milestone. Or maybe I want to take some notes on my written design and say, hey, I would like this feature to perform this behavior, and maybe just take some scratch notes as we go. On the home page, though, I want to, what do I want to do? I want to do like a featured speed runner. I'm hearing some Fire Emblem, I think. And as you do the drawing, you can get some interesting ideas as you do it. Get some inspiration. So we're gonna do. We're gonna do like a featured area with like a text description, and then maybe a link to this person's list of speedruns, like their PBs. So here we go. Here's my design so far. I have a button up here for the mobile site for navigation. When I press this button, it'll drop down and feed you the list of navigation items. Plus, we have the title, which will probably be an H1. H1 is the first heading, and it's one of the first things that a parser will look for on a website to tell you what that website's about. And you can actually use multiple H1s, so it's actually going to go through each top level, I guess, container. I need to get my lingo down. But anyway, then we have this section of the website that'll feature a speedrunner that either frequents the website or has some impressive times, whatever, or it could be just somebody new. Who knows? Featured, and it'll have the name of that person. It'll have a text description of their exploits. This person has played these games and has maybe a record or a top 5 time in some game. Maybe highlight some of that. And then obviously, their avatar, their picture, and then a link to the list of speedrun times they have or personal bests. So let's do that. And these are all simple elements that we can immediately start building and designing on the website. What am I going to do next? I want to do a section of the website where you can actually submit speedruns. So I want to do a conditional section. That's a drop down. It's going to have a list of games, and when you hit that drop down, you select a game. And based on the game you select, you can also select a speedrun category. So we'll do category. And then you're going to have custom fields based on the category that you select. So maybe it's going to be a time that you enter. Or maybe it's going to be points even. Maybe the speedrun that you're doing is not only the fastest time, but you also have to score the most points in that fast time. And I like to do that kind of trick with that, the Mario Masters competition that we did a while ago. I like to mix and match different requirements to make it a little more challenging to do things fast while also pay attention to other elements of the game. And then a submit button. Very easy, right? And these two are going to be select, I believe they're going to be select elements. That's a special HTML tag. Can allow you to do this kind of drop-down selection. And then these are going to be labels. So this section will actually be what is called an HTML form. And these will be elements underneath that form. And these will be inputs. This will be probably a number. It could be a custom format for time, since you're going to have hours, minutes, and seconds. This is just going to be a simple number field. And this will be a submit button. And then finally, I'm going to make a footer. I'm going to keep it easy. I'm going to do a footer in 2 halves. One half is going to be a sitemap. Pretty common. You have a sitemap with links to all the other web pages. And then we're going to have a copyright field on the right section of the footer. But above that, I want to have contact information. So let's do that. Maybe have a couple emails, and even have those emails link in such a way that when you click them, it opens up whatever email client that you default to on your computer. So here's your footer. Very easy. Right here you have your sitemap. Try to get it in frame. There you go. Or that we could do that too. Yeah, you know what? That might be better. And that's why we write this stuff down. Sometimes ideas come. So we could link to the contact form. And I see your point, Kitty, and I think it's great, because when you have a contact form on your website, you gain control over sanitizing whatever it is being sent to you. It could be a simple way to keep spam from happening, right? So you could have some sort of, I'm going to bring this back up. So yeah, I could foresee a situation where you could have some sort of automated script or process that someone's running to find websites, to find vulnerabilities like that, have a outwardly facing mail to : whatever email address, and just spam the crap out of those emails automatically. Because all it takes is a click instance, and then you have your email message client pop up, instantly pastes a message, and then sends it. Something so simple can happen like that. Yeah. That is definitely something to keep in mind. And so I put a little note here. So instead of doing the mail to, I'm going to do link to contact, the contact page, and then create a contact form that addresses that concern. But today we're going to start with the home page. So let's go ahead and build it. And this is the fun part. So we're going to start with our header. Our header is very simple. There's going to be a button that shows a navigation field, and then a header. Oh my gosh, these credits though. I'm so glad they remade gold and silver. It's wonderful. Okay. So we'll make our nav. This is not very easy to see, is it? Let's go ahead. And this fits with my color scheme, the red. But let's make it contrast. VS Code has themes you can change to. Preferences. Color theme. What are we going to do here? How about that? Does that look better to you? More distinct, yeah. Okay. And I'm going to demonstrate that again. These code editors also have really cool features. Like if you want to repeat an element that you created or a line of code that you created, you know you're going to make more than one of them. Instead of just typing everything out all the time, I do Shift-Alt-Down on the line that I want to copy-paste, and it creates it instantly, and I just have to edit what's inside. We're going to call it top 10s. And then we'll do contacts. There we go. So by creating this navigation, we actually have conceptualized our website a little bit. We know we want to create a page that is a formal speedrun submission page. We want to feature top speedruns of games, and also allow you to filter them based on the game you want to see. And then obviously a contact page. Contact VGSpeed. Okay, so there you go. And then we're going to name this... no, that's not what we wanted. Name this class... we're going to call it Website Navigation. And actually, something I've been doing, and I don't know if this is just matter of preference, but I want to make sure that Galaxy? I think so. I want to make sure that my blocks are above the elements directly. So to put a UL between my nav block and the elements for the LIs, I don't want to have anything in between there. So I'm going to put it right down to the UL tag. And then I'm going to call these website navigation, 2 underscores, and then item. And here's the BEM way of designing websites. They're long class names, but they're very semantic. They tell you what the thing is. And I don't have to worry when I make a change on the CSS document, because I know that when I change website navigation item, I'm changing it. I don't have to worry about any other dependencies. I don't have to worry about any other, like, if you're using Sass, like a nested, any nested styles. That's just it. So you'll see it on the CSS when we do website navigation. And that I'm actually going to create website main header as my first item in my my table of contents. And we're going to call that, let's just do website main header. Yes! Oh man! Partners in Time! So underrated! Website navigation class. And then website navigation item. You can name them separately. And in Sass you can nest those. So you can do something like that once you have Sass enabled and Ruby installed and all that other stuff. You can do something like that. But I'm going to avoid doing that. I just want to do vanilla CSS and just learn the brute force way. So here we go. I haven't conceptualized the navigation. Really easy to do. Let me turn this down. So really easy to do. We're going to take our header again. We're going to recreate really easily this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it in thirds, and I'm going to do it horizontally. So what were the websites that or what the web pages names were? We had submit a speed run. So we had submit, and then we had top tens, and then we had contact VGSpeed. So we'll just do cute little icons here. And then here we go. So now we've conceptualized our navigation. So I know that when I press that button, it's going to slide down or appear. And I'm going to have three options. I'm going to have a whole button that I can press. So the goal is to actually create a navigation item that where the clickable link encompasses the entire square no matter where you click. So I'll have this. That's your submit button. That's your top tens. And here is your contact button. Really easy. So let's go ahead and build that out. And I really want to do the color scheme, but I really need to start working on this. Oh, let's do this. So we got our header, right? What did I name this guy? Website main header. And that's what we're going to name the header here. Class website main header. There we go. And then our navigation. All right. In here will be an image that we can click on. Or can we hover? I don't know if we want to hover or not. Alt. VGSpeed website navigation button. Let's do that. I actually found a way to reveal navigation using the display attribute without needing to use JavaScript in order to click on a button and reveal that. It's very simple, but it's a JavaScriptless way of doing this, and that's what I'm going to try to do here. Okay. So no needing to deal with element IDs and all that jargon. What naming convention? Are you referring to like CSS class naming? I'm going to type it out. And I'm a novice at this, just FYI, okay? This is not you're not watching an expert here, but I really am enjoying learning a lot. I hope you do too. Blue Barn, thanks for joining the stream, man. And you can actually see right down here where I've kind of done that BEM naming convention. I've started with our top level block, which is website dash navigation. And then I have an element underneath it called item. One of the first things you learn and easiest thing, but definitely going to help us out in the future when we make changes. Like doing color schemes, for example. We're going to be doing a color scheme today as well. So submit speed run top 10 SPGs. Okay. I'm trying to remember, how did I do this? I'm going to find a picture that I'm going to use for this. I'm going to have to find an SVG file. So I'm going to go to flaticon.com. Really great place, by the way. I'm going to show you. Might as well just show you where I'm going, so you're not kept in the dark about how we're building this site. Maybe you'll find some useful tools on here. So I'm going to find hamburger menu. on here. There are some of these with crowns that are premium. So we're finding a lot of hamburgers here. Go figure. If we just do hamburger, I wonder what will happen. I did find one time. Oh, this is what I used before. I used this. And literally they have a coloration where it looks like a hamburger patty. But we can go ahead and use this. And I could use a PNG, but I'm going to mess around with the SVG file and download it. And it's literally called meat.svg. How to credit. Hold on. I need to find the attribution. No attribution required. Copy this link in your website. Hold on a second. I need to get that link first. We are going to respect content attribution here and copy that over. Okay. But I am going to comment it out because I'm not ready to do all that yet. Did Alt-Z to force word wrap. It just defaults to no word wrap every time I close the application. So I'll have to figure out how to permanently fix that on here. But anyway, for those of you watching, first of all, I hope you are learning something. And I'm sorry if this pace is a little slow for you. This is new, so new is always going to be slow until it gets faster. But I also do video game streaming as well. So this Thursday, I will actually be streaming. Oh, I don't know which game I'm going to stream yet. I could do Minecraft, Cities Skylines, Civilization, Geometry Wars, any of those PC games. So feel free to join me. I stream on the Eastern time zone. That's going to be around 7:30 Eastern time on Thursday. So feel free to join me on then. I did start Cities, so I may continue Cities and just keep that going. We're having a really hard time with traffic flow with 2 bridges and 2 highways entering the city. So a lot of fun. Anyway, back to websites. I need to go ahead and grab the image that I downloaded and put it in the images folder. Hamburger menu. Let's copy that and bring it over to images. Paste it. Okay. There we go. And that's what the inside of an SVG file looks like. It's all mathematics. This is actually an image that was created entirely digitally. Most of flaticon.com is digital. I don't think there might be illustrations here and there, but there's plenty of SVG support. And I'm super thankful for all the people that design these images for us to use. It's just amazing. So anyway, let's go ahead and reference our SVG. We're going to reference from the root. Since we are in the root already, we can go to images and then hamburger menu.svg. And I could go about this a certain way. I could define the width and height within the image tag, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to create a class. Maybe I'll create a class. We'll call it just call it hamburger menu. Come on. And with BEM, you can create. You can go ahead and create standalone classes. They do not have to be blocks or elements. They don't have to fit that naming convention. And that's okay. I can define a width in here. I'm going to define a width of 25 pixels. And a height of 25 pixels. It's a square. It's got a square aspect ratio, so I can define it equally. And let's actually look at the website so you actually have something to see. We're going to close out that. Look at that. That's what our website looks like so far. It's it's nothing to look at, really. But there's our menu there. If we really wanted to be true to what we're trying to do here, we'll actually constrict the width to something manageable. You know, if I think about how a phone's going to look, right? It's still going to look smaller than that. So instead of defining it like that, maybe we can define the width and height in a different way. Maybe we can use a different unit. Like 10% of the viewport width. That's VW. I'm pretty sure this is a CSS3 edition, or maybe some. This is recent in the history of web design. This is recent. Relative units have gotten a lot of support, and we're gonna just use the crap out of them. So we can use percentage. However, if we want to make it based on the viewport of the device you're looking at, we can do it in this way. Is this effective? Well, look at that. Maybe it is. However, when we mess around on the desktop, not all mobile devices behave the same. So we just have to be mindful of that. I'm not testing for multiple device support, really. I'm just designing a website, and I'm learning as I go. Here we go. Hamburger menu's done. I want to set a max width of, let's just say 100 pixels. 80 pixels. A max height of 80 pixels. And watch this. That's not the right page. There it is. So if I refresh, it stays. So you can set, in CSS, you can set breakpoints. Or you could just set a maximum. Or you could do both. So, there you go. Not a complete novice. I have studied. I am a novice in that I haven't done a lot of web design, but I've read a lot, and I'm aware of many different concepts and ideas. But to actually put them into practice and to create an entire product is definitely something I want to make a regular practice. I don't want to just start a project and leave it behind. You know, I want to see it through to the end. More Fire Emblem. Love the soundtrack. All right, we're kind of slacking here. All right, so here's how I'm going to circumvent the JavaScript thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a condition where if once you hover over this menu, this UL will appear on screen. Okay? And so in order to do that, the website navigation default style for display is going to be none. This is going to be weird, though, because I'm going to use Flexbox. So how do I do this? Flex direction, row, justify content, flex start. All right. Flexbox is just a method of laying out elements on a web page. Grid is another one. You can use floats. You can use tables. I'm not going to explain Flexbox too much, but I do have a basic understanding of how to use it. And the items are all going to be of equal size. So I'm setting flex to 1. So each element will be this. Now if I can also set different flex numbers. So if I set one at 2 and I set the other one at 1, assuming there's 2 elements, this will take up 2/3 of the entire width of the Flexbox container, and this will take up 1/3 for a total of 3. 1 plus 2 is 3. So that's how that works. Let's go ahead and let me show you what it looks like with just display flex. And then I'm actually going to create a border of blue, double, and 4 pixels. And because we set HTML, I actually want to set all elements to border box. There's some Kirby. I need a colon there. Okay. And let's check out what we've done. There you go. So the Flexbox method takes everything, places it in a row, and you can tell they have equal widths. They're all equal. And then if I say do website navigation item first child, no, that would only apply to website navigation first child. Flex 2. And I put it below because I want this to overwrite the first child element of website navigation with a flex attribute with property 2. And then when we go back, you're going to see that the first... Oh, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Did I do this right? Specificity 2. Item. Oh, I can't do that, can I? Maybe I do need to actually add item to this. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Item. Do I really do... The first child... Is that how it works? We're going to find out. My bad. I misled you. We actually have to make... we have to add the pseudo element after... the element of the block, right? So the element is item, and we want the first child item to receive the new updated style. So I personally, I don't know if I would do it that way, but maybe there's a reason it's that way. But as you can see, when we set it to 2, it actually takes up, right, we have 3 elements. We have 2, 1, and 1, a total of 4. So this is taking 2 of 4, which is half of the container that it's in. And then the other 2 take up 1 out of 4, or 1/4. That's a little confusing. I'm very sorry. I tried to explain that as best I could. It's just a lot of fraction stuff. It's a lot of fractions. We don't want to do that though. And I'm going to get rid of the border because I don't like that border. If you'll notice, we do have bullet points near against this UL. So anytime I make a navigation, I don't want the UL element to have a list style. I want it to be cleared. So we're going to do list style type none, just to get rid of that. There you go. I also noticed that the links have a blue text and they're also underlined. That's a default styling in many browsers. So I'm going to actually go to the anchor tag, which is what those links are. Those are anchor tags. I'm going to do color of the font is going to be, we're going to do red for now. And then we're going to do text decoration, which is what's dictating the underline. We're going to set it to none. This music, man. All right. We just made it red. Yeah. Oh my. Let's get crazy, guys. Let's use text align. And let's center that text. Oh no. We're done. We're done today. It's all over. Alright. So anyway, we have a little problem here. I want you to take a look at that. I want you to compare it to what we have. It's not quite what we want. We have the hamburger menu, which is fine. We do have the heading. And we have a navigation. But it's not laid out right. So here's what we'll do. We're going to, first of all, make the navigation disappear. Well, yeah, we're going to make it disappear for a while. So we're actually going to do display none. I do want to create the condition, though. So basically, when I hover over hamburger menu, it's going to appear. How did I do that? How did I do this? Ah. Ah. I'm crunching. My head's crunching. We're going to come back to that. We're going to come back to that. Let that thought simmer in my brain for a little bit. Got the hamburger menu right there. We've got our website navigation. How did I make this disappear? How did I do that? I know that I put this image in here for a reason. This music's so fitting, isn't it? Just thinking hard. Oh boy. Dun, 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 dun. While we're thinking about that, we're going to do our main content. And we're going to build out the other sections of our website. Okay? So I have 3 sections. Of class. We're going to call it homepage section. Okay? And we're going to do we do 2 of those? We're going to do 2 of those actually. And then we have a footer, right? We're going to call that class website main footer. Just to be unified with that header element that we made. And then inside of that footer, we have 2 sections. And we're going to call that website main footer section. Okay. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll call this what it is. Website main footer sitemap. Website main footer contact information. Maybe we'll do that instead. Homepage featured. Homepage speed run. Quick submit. What a long class name. I'm not used to that. But it's going to be great. We know what that is now. There's no mistaking what this section of the website's for. Okay. All right. I'm going to have to crunch my brain. So when I hover over the hamburger menu, out appears the UL that has our navigation items. Oh, man. I'm going to do some research here. Gonna do some research. So when I make another element of yeah. Use CSS tricks coming in clutch, please. Oh, perfect. Those selectors that I didn't expect. Yes, perfect. That is a solution that I've never used before, and I'll show you. I'm trying to see if there's another one, though. Only way to do this with CSS. Ah, right. That's right. If they were nested. Ah, that's right. Okay. I found a code pen by Brendan Ryan that does this very thing. So there we go. So as you can see, he's got an anchor tag with a thumbnail image. And he's got a div that just simply has the name of a file. And in this CSS, he has it displayed. And he also has the hover pseudo element with the plus selector. The plus selector, I believe, selects the very next thing. So when you apply hover, it affects the title that comes immediately preceding thumbnail. And it changes the display property. So title currently has display none. But this has greater, I think this has a deeper level of specificity, so it'll overwrite this even though this comes after this styling. So let's give it a go. We're going to go in. Actually going to change the order of this because hamburger menu really should appear after website navigation. And we're going to try the same thing. So hamburger menu. Typing's great, isn't it? Try hover. Just finish. I don't know what I was thinking there. Display flex. I'm not sure what I was thinking with that, but here we go. We'll just put it back up here. Here we go. There it goes. Ha! We did it! Easy peasy. Now, when you notice that when you hover, though, it actually shoves the heading down, and we can fix that too. And we're going to do this by using a little CSS positioning. What I'm going to do is I'm going to absolutely position the navigation that's being revealed, and then move the header, or move the heading element to the right of the hamburger menu. How are we going to do that, you ask? Well, it's easy. Here's how you do it. First, the parent element of website navigation is this nav. So we're going to do website main header nav. Ho-ho. But that's against the rules. No, it's not. We're going to call this position relative. And then position absolute. Can I do a colon and not a semicolon? Can I do spacing correctly? Nope, because I'm dancing. Can't do anything right. Oh, no. All right. Okay. Position absolute. And we're going to position it away from the top 100 pixels. You know why? Because we're going to change our website main header to a height of 100 pixels. Look at that. And just to emphasize what we're doing here, I'm going to do a background color of red, color of white. No. We're going to do cyan. And we're going to do purple. Ooh. Mixing colors. It's fun. Alright. So let's make sure what we've done so far is valid. And then border bottom of 2 pixels solid orange. No, it's got a contrast with cyan. Gold. Nah. Brown. Sure, why not? And this is another cool feature of Visual Studio Code. It actually has smart color selection, where if you hover over the color, it can actually tell you the RGB value of the word color that you've selected. But you can also select anything you want. And it changes it to an RGB value. And if you want it to have opacity, you can do an alpha and change its alpha value to be transparent. Isn't that cool? I think it's really cool. So. But we haven't done something yet. Let's look back at our HTML document. See how we have our navigation and our H1? I want them next to each other, right? And this is going to be tricky. I'm going to do display flags. I don't want to define flex values. So how else can I do this? I'm going to do it that way just because that's the only way I know how right now. So display flex, and the elements are the nav and website main header H1. Display block, because it's technically an inline element right now, and flex 1. Let's do it. It's too big, isn't it? Let's define our H1 right now. H1 font size 1.75 em. And we're going to create our font sizing for all of our other elements. And we're going to define that as 45, 25, 05, 15, whatever. Do whatever we want. This truly is the Bob Ross of web design. We just do things. This is long. I'm going to change the H1 to something smaller, because that's kind of ridiculous to do a slogan there. VGSpeed, speedruns. Let's just to call it that. Sure, why not? And what we've done with flex is actually, this is taking up half. So let's just redefine it real quick. H1's going to be 3, actually. That might be our big problem. There you go. That looks a little bit better. And when I hover, look at that. It appears on the bottom. Here's the trouble, though. Because we've defined a flex attribute for nav, we have now restricted the width of the nav element. And thus, we've also restricted the width of these guys. And actually, I want to define the hover for them too. So we're actually going to define Website navigation hover. There we go. Display flex. Max width, max height. We're going to change our width here. Width is auto. Height is going to achieve, it's going to achieve 100% of its parent element, right? Right? You're not going to go crazy. Right. Okay. How are we going to tackle this one? I'm not concerned with the navigation staying. I'm concerned with the overall width of it. Oh, UL has padding too that I don't like. And margin end. Yeah. Nope, I don't like it. Nav. Can I break? Can I not let the container's flex attribute define the width of the UL? Can I hard define the UL? Let's find out. So technically that's appearing afterwards, so I could width. It's 100% of the view width. That's a relative unit that should break the dependency. Yeah! Nailed it. Brain power. Alright. So we're getting close to what we want as far as navigation's concerned. However, now I want to tackle the feat of getting over that hump, right? Okay, so this is only extending to 98. Unfortunately, because we're using hover, if we even roll over a single pixel that is not achieving that hover behavior, we're going to lose our navigation. I want to be able to move my mouse down into this. It is going to be annoying behavior, though, because if you like roll to the side, you're going to lose it anyway. So instead, we should just apply the same style to both. So we're going to do that too. So when we hover over the website main header, on H1 hover, site navigation. Let me look at this again. When we hover over the H1, that's going to be problematic. The easy way to get around this. Oh, is there an easy way to get around this? Let's try one thing. How to apply hover to descendant class. We're going to go to Stack Overflow. Oh, no way. Is that simple? Is it that simple? Just take this all away. Don't be that simple. Don't do this to me. Ha! It is. All that time. It's not the behavior I envisioned, but it makes sense to do it this way with a browser. I mean, why not? Okay. But I can't move over to click the link, because once I move over, it goes away. And I think maybe the border has something to do with that. So let's just get rid of our border bottom, because that's not taking our hover seriously. Maybe not. All right. But we're getting close. We are getting close. UL does have a margin applied to it, so that's problematic. We need to get rid of the margin and the padding on our UL element. ULs in general, I don't want to have that. Margin 0, padding 0. Get out of here. Yep, there it is. We've got it. So now our hover styling carries over, and we're able to click our links. We don't have to apply it again to the website navigation class because the UL falls underneath hover, and so it's technically part of the hover element. So now we've achieved what we really wanted to do with the navigation. So let's move on to, we get to move on. Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the next section, which is the featured part of the home page. So just to refresh your memory, featured includes a header. We're going to do an H2 element with a text field that describes the featured speedrunner, and then an image to represent the speedrunner, along with a link that brings you to their list of streams. And just because I'm thinking of it, I would like to kind of think about the what's the term called? What the URL is going to look like, right? So we want runner / gamer1. That's what we'll call it. I just wrote a little note on my webpage wireframe here. Okay. And I want to think about layout here. So I am thinking about layout. So I'm going to create a Flexbox around the whole thing. My throat is getting torn to shreds talking about this. Ooh. Let me take a break. First, I'm going to save. Not be right back. That's not what we're doing. Break time, y'all. Sure, we'll call it that. Let's take a small little break. Just to decompress. Because that was about, how much time have we spent on stream? An hour, 24 minutes. That was a solid 45, 50 minutes of brain power right there that we used. And it's good to take breaks. Just to reflect on what's been done, or think about other things, or not think. Just breathe. We haven't done too much yet, but we've, by us structuring our documents well, we're setting ourselves up to save time overall in the fact that we're going to make fewer errors, and also find elements of our design much faster and make changes much faster in the future than if we didn't do our due diligence and made a table of contents. You know, used a naming convention that makes sense of what we're looking at. Makes it easy for us to identify things. And you can go this extra mile and be very granular and title your table of contents in your CSS document based on the naming convention you used in the class naming. So I could just call section 1 website main header, which I did. Or if I didn't have a name for the main content section, I could just call it main homepage content and name it after the top level tag, followed by whatever class name, or do whatever you want. Whatever gets you there faster and easier, makes your life better, and just go with that. So, you know, I see like 10 people in here. But why does it say 2 viewers on Streamlabs? Is this right? Hold on a second. I hope I'm not missing chats from you guys, because that would be unfortunate. Let me see this. That's what I thought. Am I losing my mind? Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not. Oh man, I'm having fun. I'm having a lot of fun though. Definitely, this was one of my goals tonight. You know, 2 viewers, 10 viewers, who cares? This is fun. And I'm wearing your t-shirt, kitty. You see? I got it on. I still have it. And I've got your Chance Time t-shirt too. I got that in the closet as well. So, wear that from time to time. It's actually a little small on me now. I've grown a lot. So, what's this song? Paradise Island. The Herbs. That Sims game. That's fun. Madam Warrior loves that game, I think. So, I'm actually perusing the category. I'm going to follow it too. The category that I've placed my stream under, which is Science and Technology. By the way, love that this exists. Really nice. I'm seeing some game development. I'm seeing Arduino. Someone's developing programming for some simple hardware. I see PC building. Vintage Rolex screwhead polish. That's fantastic. Testing JavaScript frameworks, Python, C++, laptop and phone repair. Ooh. Weapons modeling, sort of for design. What else do we got here? More game dev. Game engine design. That's the real meat and potatoes. If you're just hopping in, I'm kind of perusing science and technology, taking a little bit of a break from what I was doing. Someone's showing off Vue.js. Localization? There's everything on here. This is really great. Weather and traffic cam. Oh, for the UK. Interesting. I've seen a lot of those live stream channels that show like countries foreign to the United States. I'm from the States, so everything that's outside is foreign for me. But I saw this really cool live stream on Twitch. Or was it Mixer? One of the two. They were showing live earthquakes and geothermal activity pings around Japan. It's a big thing. They're in the Ring of Fire. The Ring of Fire runs around the entire Pacific Ocean and impacts 4 continents directly, plus the ocean islands in the Pacific. And they have a lot of underwater activity and underground activity over there. So it's both a cool thing, but it's also kind of eye-opening too. They really keep good tabs on that. I also heard this morning that Puerto Rico. I can't believe I wasn't even aware that this happened this week. But Puerto Rico had a couple, like a 5 and 6 magnitude earthquakes that shut off most of the power on the island, which is really, man, that must be really frustrating to be Puerto Rican, live there, having gone through 2 straight years of just really tumultuous hurricane activity, to be rebuilding slowly, to get more than half the island with power, and then to have this happen is not fun. And I'm talking about this while is this Kirby or Yoshi? Nope, this is Pokemon apparently. Sun and Moon. Go figure. Talking about such a serious subject with all this whimsical music playing in the background. Good night. Anyway, there's a couple Unity devs. Hey, Necromancer! Thanks for following, man. And once I get back to web design in a couple minutes, hope you enjoy and learn a little something. It's been a mental exercise to do this. Now, don't expect anything magical on the first day. This is a continuous stream. This is some project I'm going to be working on multiple streams. I would also advise you to hit that bell, click the bell button for notifications live on Twitch, and follow me at PowerToMario, because whenever I go live that's not scheduled, Twitter's the best way to kind of see that I'm going live. Or you can just kind of wait for Twitch to tell you that. So, anyway, pleasure to have you here, man. There are some Unity game developers I see on here. This is so cool. And these guys just whiz kids. These ladies and these guys are just killing it out here. My headset, I actually have the box, thankfully. Do I? Yes. So, context. I did very little Cyber Monday shopping. However, my wife stumbled upon this on Amazon and said, hey, they're having a sale on a $50 headset. That was $20. And this is it. It's the HyperX Cloud Stinger. And it's wired. One thing I learned is that it's got a 3.5 millimeter headset jack, which is different from a split headphone and microphone jack, so I had to get an adapter for it because my motherboard is 6 years old and doesn't support that type. But here you go. Here's the back side of it. And it's really nice. It's comfortable enough. And I got the microphone working. And what you're hearing is the actual mic on the headset. So what do you think of the audio quality on the headset, Necro? Does it sound pretty clear? For a $50 headset, it should be okay. You're wearing that same headset. No way. No way. That's fantastic. Yeah, it was a great, I had, and I'll show it to you, I had a different microphone before when I was streaming. And this microphone it's been with me for a long time. It's been through a lot of streams in the past. It's this Blue Snowball. And it's more expensive than the headset. So, this is what I was running with up until last month when I got the headset. And it works really well. But when you have a standing microphone on your desk, one of the big complications with doing that is when you're playing a video game or doing an activity that requires a lot of keyboard strokes, such as a game that uses the WASD keys for movement or web design and development. You definitely don't want to have the clanging and clacking of the keys going into the microphone while you're talking. It doesn't make for a good experience. So this is a blessing. This is a huge, huge deal. So, but yeah, you got good taste in headsets, man. That's awesome. I'm gonna take a quick drink because my throat's getting a little raw. Okay. Love me some cream soda. That's good stuff. Anyway, let me quickly go through the rest of the streams that I'm seeing on here. On this science and technology list, we got Python programming, procedural platformer, game dev, unboxing video or unboxing stream, puppy cam. That doesn't make sense. Science. Oh well, hold on. There's a little science in studying pups as they develop. So. Yeah, no, cheap doesn't always mean bad. My wife is very thrifty, so she'll find really high quality items for lower prices. So she's good at that stuff. 3D printing, that's really cool. And then I'm on here somewhere, or I was. Kind of want to see. Where did I end up? Maybe I'm not on here. Dun, 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 dun. I was at the 2 viewer threshold when I looked last, but maybe I moved up a little bit. Oh well, who cares? So let's get back to it. All right, we're gonna move back into the editor tool here, and there you go, Necro. There you go. Thanks for the follow, man. We're using Visual Studio Code for the code editor. Wildly popular now. It's feature rich. I don't use most of the features. Don't know why I'm saying that. But here's what we're doing so far. The concept is a video game speedrun website where you can submit speedrun entries. So part of this website will eventually include being able to attach images and video and upload it to a user profile. And then if the concept went any farther than that, you'd have a team of people that would validate those runs, upload it, and then make it publicly viewable. So let's go ahead and move forward. So what we've done so far is we have, and the colors, I know the color is not attractive. We're not going for attractiveness right now. We're going for a function. We'll go for the attractiveness afterwards. So I've arrived at a solution where I don't use JavaScript and I just use the hover pseudo selector to create a drop-down navigation. And eventually we're going to flesh this out so that they're in blocks, clickable blocks. But right now I'm not concerned about that. We've got the function down. So let's go ahead and move on to the featured speedrunner part of the home page. And just as a reminder, this is what we're going for here, this section, where we have our featured person with a text description, and then we have their user avatar followed by a button link that takes them to their runner profile page. And I've got a short link that I've written a note in. And if you can fairly see it, but I've also sketched in blue some boxes and some grids, and I want to, put inside of my mind how I want to lay out that section. Let's get that done. So we got our section homepage featured. I'm going to make a div with class homepage featured. Are they going to be the same size? Let's just make them the same size. Oh, no, we don't have to do that. Page featured section. I don't want to do section, though. We're going to call it description. Okay. We'll go with the H2 element, and we're gonna name that. We're gonna name that after our user that followed today, Necromancer. And then we're gonna do a text description, right? And then Necromancer, this is your opportunity, man. I want to know what games you like to play. So a game that you would want to speed run would be what game and why? And while you're thinking about that, I'm going to go ahead and create another div tag with class homepage featured. We're going to call it avatar. Okay. And then we're going to do an image. The source is going to be determined, so it's going to be Necromancer's profile avatar. Faster Supersonic! Welcome! So I got the filter on, buddy. I'll allow it. Okay. I don't got a strict language policy on here, but I do have some filters on, so let's try to be mindful of that. Yeah, think of any game that you would speedrun. If there were no obstacles in your way, and you could be an elite speedrunner, what game would that be? We're just gonna do an anchor tag, actually. And we're gonna do list of speedrun times. We'll call it that. Yeah, that's good. Let's see here. So we've got that section down. I'm gonna find a avatar. Skyrim, huh? Whoo! I want to know what the Skyrim speedrun record is. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, just on speedrun.com. Okay. So it looks like someone from Northern Ireland set the PC record for, is this 100%? No, this is just beating the game. 23 minutes and 45 seconds. That's crazy. That game in that time? I don't know, dog. 12 minutes? I wonder, though, if there's a condition with that, too. Is this a main quest? That's main quest time. Console, yeah, this is probably not a good source for times, because there may be times that are better that aren't listed on there. That's the other problem with the website like that, is it's not always the most accurate resource. Why do you like Skyrim, though? Because we need to talk about you, right? We need to talk about, you love to play Skyrim, but why? What's one thing that makes you really enjoy it? So this runner's destination speed running. There we go. Ho! Necromancer, thanks for hosting. I love that it's right behind. Oh, man. I love that the alert box is right behind the display. I didn't check that. But, yeah, thank you so much, man. Elder Scrolls 5. Okay. Is rooted in. I just want to make some dummy text. I want to make some meaningful dummy text, not just go to loremipsum.com or lipsum and get just garbled nonsense. I want it to be meaningful dummy text. What song is this? What song? Oh, Reshiram. Poke Park 2? What an odd game to get a soundtrack from. But okay. Alright, so while you're thinking of a reason why you love Skyrim, there we go. So that's what it kind of looks like so far. We haven't done the layout just yet, so let's do that now. I'm going to copy this over, and we're going to do our homepage featured runner, featured speed runner. I think my shift key is starting to fail. I hope not. Speedrunner. Nostalgia. Okay. We can work with that. Is rooted in a love for classic adventures. The culmination of years of nostalgia and excitement for exploring new and interesting lands. This is what pals answer to Excel. Romancers. Personal best times. Okay, there we go. There's some good quality dummy text for you. All right. And for those of you joining, welcome to the stream, and thank you very much for attending. And I hope you also learn and are energized and become encouraged to do your own projects. This is just a tiny passion project to build a portfolio with. So, and we're doing one about a speedrun submission website for video games. Right now we're doing Necromancer's featured section on the homepage. All right, so we've got the dummy text in here. I want to get you an avatar, so let me go back to flat icon and get you a good avatar. Here we go. Flat icon. Oh, didn't I already have it up? Yep, I did. Is there a there's Skyrim stuff? Skyrim. I can't search for that. Let's try dragon. Because you're the dragonborn in this game, aren't you? Ha 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 ha. That's cute. Whoa! What has happened? Cosmic Snowman! What? Oh man, you're wonderful. Thanks, man. That Twitch Prime subscription. And thank you for becoming a founder on the PowerToMario channel. Love you, man. So, I have an emote that's going through approval. but I don't think it's made it quite yet. Because it's not an option. There's the Fire Emblem battle music. So, everyone, let's give some encouragement to Cosmic Snowman, and thank yous for the subscription. What a stream to do it on too. That just lights a fire in me to do more web design. That's fantastic. That's meaningful. So, Cosmic, I want to ask you though, do you do any sort of anything creative? Not necessarily programming or design in this context. Do you do anything that you really love to do? I gotta select a. You program? What do you build your applications on? What language? What IDE? Anything that you've built that you really enjoyed building? C# Visual Studio. That's literally what I'm about to pursue. I'm doing web development and design first. It's the most approachable thing for me because I've done a little bit before. But I actually just installed the community version of Visual Studio on my computer. And I am intending to learn C# and the .NET, all the .NET stuff. So we are going to be kinfolk in that. There's a couple of them I really like. Let's do this dragon because he's kind of cool. We're gonna copy this, but we'll download the dragon as an SVG. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and bring the attribution link down here. They are free picks, so they're pretty much the same, but I just want to keep track of what I'm grabbing here. All right. Mystic Seagull! Welcome to the stream. I'm building a really basic game with this framework called Monogame. What? Let's look this up. Guess what, guys? This stream is all about sidetracking. Oh, man. %90 of my dev life. Here, let's spend 5 minutes. Oh, yes, we're going to build this component. Oh, look! A cat video! Distractions everywhere. That plagues me at work some days, too, at work. I do IT support, so I'm working on an issue. I'm full steam ahead trying to fix something, and then someone in the office is like, "Hey," and I'm like, "What?" They're like, "Did you watch that football game last night?" No, I didn't, and now I gotta refocus. Check this out. Attention diverted. So you got to do that with dogs too. My wife is a dog groomer and a trainer, and she is a master at getting that animal's attention away from something else. And unfortunately, men are very similar to dogs in that regard. We gotta, if you take our eyes away from something, it's a lot easier to keep our focus. So, hey Kitsu, welcome. Good to see you again. Yeah. Oh man. Anyway, we were looking up Monogame, right? What is this? Oh, Mad World. Never heard of that. Let's check it out. What is this song? What is this? This stream is way too chaotic right now. Thanks for following, Mystic. For those of you who are coming in and are uber confused about what's playing in your ears, This is RadioNintendo.com. They stream video game soundtracks from Nintendo games. And Mad World is a Nintendo game, so it counts. Life's good, man. It's hard to talk with this song playing. It's so hard to talk about anything. Oh no. Monogame, one framework for creating powerful cross-platform games. I want to see the portfolio for this. Okay. Oh, that's cool. It's very Minecraft. Obviously, that dock is very Minecraft-like. That's fun. We got a platformer that kind of reminds me of a little V6, V times 6, however you want to say that title. Celeste. Like the coloration reminds me of that. So, awesome. I'm going to bookmark this under, let's do other bookmarks. We'll put that in there. All right, so we've got our dragon, right? And here we go. Here's our code. And I'll just let you look at what we're building right now so far. There we go. We're going to get the layout done rather soon. I need to copy over the dragon. Let me make a new window to do that. Copy the dragon. Oh, we were already in images, so we're good. So dragon.svg. So here we go. We're going to go to our source, and we're going to go to images, dragon. And then kablam! Dragon's on the web page. Right there. Too big, though. Really too big. We could do a fixed height, though, on those elements and change that. So, all right, let's take a look at our class names. Kind of keep track of what's going on here. We have our block. That's homepage featured, and then our elements, description, and avatar. So, homepage featured, and then homepage featured, description, homepage featured, avatar, and then we're going to do a display of flex direction for the children of those is a row. And I know a lot of these are default styles when you use those these attributes. I just type them out anyway because I just want to set them. I don't think it's big enough. It needs to be a bigger dragon. Oh my. All right. So we got that. We're going to define. We're actually going to do very symmetrical definition. So we're going to do flex 1 and 2. Star Wolf! Yes, I needed a Star Fox song right now. Fantastic. There we go. Actually, I think we went 3 and 1 on the... Did we do 3 and 1 on that? Let's just look. Yes, we did. Oh, man. But how do I want this to look on mobile is the question. Do I want it to be like that on mobile? Maybe I want 1 and 1. Maybe that's what I want. That's so good. All right, and we're going to eliminate the speedruns portion of the title. I know I could change the font size too, but we're not going to do that. Okay. So, Necromancer. And we got Cosmic Snowman. We need to put him on this front page somewhere. Let's finish up this section first. Let's not move on until we're okay with what we're seeing here. I am going to add some padding to the description. So let's just add some 5-pixel padding. The great thing about the smart completion on VS Code is I can do a lot. I can just do what I normally do a lot faster than I used to do. This is great. Okay, we're doing the padding. I'm also going to change the H2. I'm going to center the text. Okay. And we're going to go hyphens. Description. We're going to do font size. We're actually going to do... Let's do that. We're going to make it smaller than the base font size that we defined earlier in the HTML selector. Or tag. Whatever. Alright, so we got a little bit of padding. You can see that we've got a little bit of spacing between here and the edge of the browser viewport. Alright. Are we going to define... How do we define height in our header? We defined height as 100 pixels. Can we just change that? Can I change that to a I don't want an absolute unit. I want a relative unit here. Let's do view height. 25 might be a little much. Let's do 15. 15's good. And then we want to add up to 100. I think so. 15 and 15 would be equitable. So we're dealing with 35 for the featured. Height of 35, view height, viewport height. See, but that doesn't matter because this is just going to overflow no matter what. Because if we look at the inspect for this, right, the dragon's so big. The dragon's just so big. We're also going to have to change the navigation hover too. How am I going to show this here? All right, the div is currently 327 high. The section is 327 high, but you can see the dragon's bleeding over it. So that's why absolute units are great. You can just hard define the height, not have to worry so much about it, but I don't want it to work that way. Not my choice. Let's close this out. Description, avatar. There we go. Let's move back here. Picture avatar image. I want max height to be 35 view height. Ha! There we go. And we're going to decrease the font size. Just experimenting a little bit. Guarantee people who've done this for a while might be a little cringing. Might be cringing a little bit at this. But we're fine. We're okay. Do you want to look at a website that's pretty interesting? Absolutely I do. Can you please private message me the link? Because I do have link filters on. I've got this chat room vacuum sealed for your protection, of course. But yeah, private message me on Twitch that link you've got, and I will gladly check it out. There we go. Man, a Twitch Prime subscription. That came out of nowhere, man. that was a delight to see. The follows were delights to see. I don't think people see. I hope people realize what an encouragement small acts like that are. I certainly, this isn't a stunning revelation right now. I've kind of realized this, and that's why I love doing things like raids and watch parties. Something that we're going to do very soon are called raid missions. This is something the Discord community that I have is they're going to be conducting, and it's especially cool when you have a massive number of people to do these sorts of things with. And so a raid party is just basically, let's all hop online for a little bit live on Twitch. We go live, we're in our chat room, we're like, hey, let's go and pick somebody that's really close to becoming a Twitch partner or someone who's not an affiliate yet. And let's just bombshell the stream with a bunch of viewers, watch them, interact with them, encourage them, and watch them freak out when they become a Twitch affiliate or become Twitch partner that stream. It's just fun. Encouraging other streamers and content creators is just a lot of fun and uplifting. So I know Proton John. I've met him twice. Met in person one time outside of PAX East, and then once at MagFest, I think. Briefly at MagFest, but we actually, I had a friend in our group that was a mutual of his, and they met up briefly at the hotel. They were all gonna go do something else. But yeah, he's funny. He's really great. So. Oh yeah, I need to check for that. I'm looking at Streamlabs, and I'm not looking for your link. I'm sorry. Let me see if I can find you here. I don't see your whisper yet, so just whisper anytime you have that link, and we'll be good. So okay, so we kind of have our section here. I don't have this linking to a web page yet, so let's go ahead and actually create a new web page on our folder, not a CSS. Nope, I don't want a CSS file. I want... What are we going to call this? Oh, we need a folder. That's what we need. Because we're going to runners. And we're going to... necromancer.html. And I did a little PHP before. And so these would all be just .php files whenever I did MySQL stuff. So, let's go ahead and just quickly build out Necro's answer VGSpeed, and we're just gonna build a header. We'll copy the header over from the HTML, right? Copy the header over. Sure, why not? We'll do that, and then we'll go ahead and just and then images. Oh, because we are in a folder below the root of the document, I want to go and put // to go back up to the top, reference the dragon. And we're going to call that user avatar 4. There we go. And then I need to change the link here to be runners. Perfect. And then I actually would like the H1 to also be a link back to the root of the document. Okay, so we're going to contain that within there. And I'm going to actually copy that over to highlight that, or to overwrite that. Here we go. So if we click speedrun times, we're actually taking... now, one thing I also didn't do is I also did not link to the CSS documents. Or just the one, really. The English language, man. I still stumble with it. It's my mother tongue. Did I do this? Oh, right, because where I am in the directory, I got a reference back to the root up here. So you'll notice that I added this as well. We got to do that for everything. There we go. Same thing with our images. That's the frustrating part. So we'll have to tackle that challenge at some point and figure out an easy, seamless way to reference documents within the file directory. We'll get there. I know we will. It's going to be a matter of time. So here's his profile. And we're going to click the home page, and it takes us back. Look at that. We already have our link structure developing right before our eyes. So we're not I don't have you on Discord, no. So we're going to have to fix that. Super Mario RPG. Oh, I can't wait to get that again. I love that game. All the Paper Mario and all those RPGs are just they're great. All right. I'm supposed to try and find you. Man, my web pages are all over the place. Hold on a second. I need to rein this in. Whisper. Oh yeah. I like it. Here we go. Let's look at Proton John's website. Professional game collector. You're in college for comp sci? Cool. Nice to hear, Faster. I studied comp sci for a year. I don't think I should call that studying. I completely flopped. And I had great grades. I was an A student in high school and got distracted my first year of college. Had to drop out because I was on academic probation and went to community college for a couple of years and did really well in community college. But dropped out there because, not that dropping out I endorse. When I was studying web design and development in community college, I realized how behind they were in their material and what they were teaching. So I thought, genius me, I'm going to teach myself how to do it. And I kind of did. And then I tried to start a business, and I realized how tough starting a business is. And it discouraged me a lot. And that's when I pursued full-time work and landed with the airline that I'm working with and got into IT support. Just providentially got into that role. And now I'm back here. And the goal in 2020 is to become a junior with a company and really pursue this full time. Yeah. Hey, it was tumult those years. But everything's good now. So let's check out Proton John's website. So it looks like he's got some music playing. Ambition is the first step towards success. Is that Proton Cop? Oh, it's fun. Oh, look at that. That's clever. It's got a big pile of, we got NES, Super Nintendo, Game Boy Game Boy Color, Nintendo 64. Is this a repeating image? Oh, okay, it's a great... Oh! So he's... You can obviously tell that the image is being repeated. And there is a color gradient. So that's not... That's actually... Is it a color gradient? Or it could be a PNG, and they applied some blur and some... Maybe it's supposed to be transparent in the image, and that's what's creating the illusion of a gradient. And success is only 6,626 games away. That can't be how many games a man owns. Cannot be. Cosmic, it's a pleasure seeing you, man. Thanks for the subscription, and thank you so much for joining. You have a wonderful night. We'll see you around. And the door gods. This is a fan site? That's not bad. I'm afraid to click these links, though. I don't know how I feel. That was a fun website, though. Thanks for showing me that, Kitsu. That's cool. All right. I'm going to take another break again. Break time, y'all. Come back and do some more. Good to take breaks. It's a good idea to do that. Don't want to get mentally stressed out or frustrated with the project. We're not necessarily struggling with anything yet, any components of the website. I got them right here. Yeah, so beginning of the stream, I was looking for my glasses. I went to work today without them. I don't need them for work, but they help a lot. And I couldn't find them. I didn't know where they were. So I came home, had the idea to do a web design stream, and then I say, you know what, I'm going to take a couple minutes, I'm going to look for my glasses, and we'll come right back. So I get up, I stand up, I walk over here, and you can't hear me at the time because I have my headset off, but I'm laughing my butt off because it's right on top of my PC tower. So that's the story. Thought it was going to take 2 minutes. I walk away, it takes 3 seconds to find them. So then I come right back and I say, hey, might as well start now. Thought I was going to be gone forever. Now I have no excuse. Yeah, I told you that. I told you that earlier in the stream. Gift from Fire Kitty back in the day when we went to PAX East. Really, really, really lovely. Really lovely time. I like that year. Yep. Yep. It was. 'Twas the best of times and it was the worst of times. Yeah, that week it was my birthday that week. So thank you so much. I do have I lost the POW block keychain, half of it. Unfortunately, the POW block itself got torn off, and where it is, I have no idea. And I hated that. I was like, no, it's such a nice keychain. Yeah. So, oh man. Having a blast, though. I hope you all are having a wonderful evening. I know it's right now it's 7:20 Eastern, but I can feel a strain coming on, which means I need to rest. That's what that means. I definitely on this stream, with whether I'm playing video games or doing web design, doing whatever, I definitely want to encourage good habits and behaviors. I want to encourage you all to take care of yourselves. And And like I was trying to say earlier, when you're working on a project, you're building a component on a website, you're trying to crack a some sort of logic puzzle with whatever application you're building. If you reach a point where you're at a maximum level of stress or anxiety, or you just can't figure it out, stop and pull back. Don't sit in that feeling. Just completely cut yourself off from what you're doing. Go away, eat something, drink some tea or some water. Go do an activity you love to do, or hang out with your loved ones. Just pull back. Or you can hang out on Discord. I'll invite you guys. Sure. Anyone who wants an invitation to the Discord server, feel free to private message me on Twitch. I'll set up some sort of invite system through our cloud bot through Streamlabs. But anyway, you can private message me, private message FireKitty, and we'll make sure you get hooked up with invites. FireKitty, if you can't give invitations, just let me know, and I'll help get that set up too. You can feel free to join us. We have a general chat room for anything and everything. We've got some voice channels set up if you want to play some games with people, or just chat in general. We are going to hold some special events. One of the big ones that really started that Discord server was called the Mario Masters Invitational. If you couldn't tell by my username, by my hat, I really love the Super Mario series of video games, which is why I play exclusively PC games on this stream channel. But I'm a huge fan, and we have a competition every... Well, I was about to say every year. We haven't had it for a few years. But it's just basically a contest where you do different little challenges in different Mario games, and you submit them, and you win medals kind of in like an Olympic-style format. It's really fun. So, you can't invite or do anything? Well, let's fix that. Is this Mystery Dungeon? Haha, it is. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Lots of fun. Roles, Power Enforcer. Create invite. Yep, there you go. You now have the power to send out invitations as a Power Enforcer. By the way, if you're in chat right now, can you just throw up some emotes, give a hand to our Power Enforcer team? Right now, FireKitty's the only one of those online. I think Rock was on here earlier. They basically embody our community values. They're hyper encouragers. They're a lot of fun and people I trust. And they've supported this channel a lot. So let's enjoy tonight. Just throw up a bunch of emotes and say hello. Hyper. Farf! What's up, buddy? Oh, man. You know, I'm supposed to be taking a break, and now I feel like I'm not taking a break. Oh, man. So, the chat's disappearing pretty quickly. I think I need to fix this. How do I do this? Chatter. Font settings. Always show messages. Let's do that. Done. There we go. Well, no. I know I'm taking a break, but I'm getting ratcheted up and excited, and part of it doesn't feel like a break. Oh, man. Hey, so I am curious. Are there any streamers in particular that you all like watching? that you want to talk about? Anyone else that that you enjoy? It could be a gaming streamer. It can be a design development streamer. It could be someone that does something completely different. I went over to Mixer and I watched Lady Desiree. She does piano covers and original pieces, and she's super good. She's a mom too. She's a mom, just got a new home, and she does streaming on the side. And she's just really into it when she's playing piano and doing requests. A lot of fun. Love talking about a Mixer streamer on Twitch. There's no boundaries here. TK, Cryotic, Slim Kirby. Yeah, there's a list right there. There's an elite selection. So, just listen to some music too. Yeah. Who do you guys like watching just as far as streaming? Could be Twitch streamers, Mixer, YouTube gaming, anyone. I have the 8-bit drummer on my follow list. That guy's great. Tenchi, Proton John, Messiah Nella. Yep. I know the first two just from the olden days. I'm just going to let the music play a little bit. This is a beautiful song. Make sure my wife's okay. Kingdom Hearts! My friend Brandon's just fascinated with TikTok. I'm not downloading it ever, but I love watching some of the stuff he shares. Seagull, Strippin', Elohime, Sooner, Basics, Burn BXX, the Puddle Plains Crew, PPHD. They're going to need to change their name to PP4K because they're a little behind. High definition's old news. It's time for Puddle Plains 4K to arrive. Family Jewels and Strippin' also, and Team 4 Stars. Okay. I'm seeing a common theme here. I'm seeing something develop. I'm afraid to go to the Strippin' channel though. I'm a little scared to go there. Family. Taking notes, y'all. I want to check out some new people too. Let's do Seagull. Who else is on that list? Why have I heard of Elohime? I'll go back to the VOD too to get some of these names on here though. Who's a Seagull guy? Or a lady? Who is that? Is that Mystic Seagull that you're referring to, Farf? No. Not that seagull. It's a different kind of seagull. Oh, it's hello, Hime. Hello. That's just such a contrast. Don't worry, Strippin's a family guy. Luckily. Luckily, he's a family guy. Used to be a TF2 player, then went to Overwatch. Ooh. Really? Ooh, Mario Golf? Oh, man. I'm going to find me a copy of Mario Golf on N64 and play it. I'm going to do it. Get a, I got to get an HDMI adapter for that type of output, though. I get that. All right, I think I'm in the mode where I can go back. I think I can go back now. Oh, all right. Here we go. Now is variety. Okay. Not going to do Overwatch 2, huh? Oh, man. Wouldn't you believe it? Wouldn't you believe it? And my wife even more so because her shoulder's recovering. She's healed. She's getting better. She will get there. And Madame Toadstool. Yep, I've got her on there too. All right. So let me go back to what we were working on here. All right. So Necromancer's section is pretty much there. Yeah, the next thing is, obviously we have the navigation here, but it's overlapping this. So somehow we got to shove it down a little bit. And we could probably do that with a little CSS animation. And unfortunately, though, I think we may have to dive a little bit into JavaScript to try to accomplish a little bit of that behavior. Maybe we don't have to. I try to steer clear as far away from it as I can because it just optimizes load times and all that other stuff. So yeah, you could do padding as well. That's a quick and easy, unless you want to animate just for the sake of making things look neat and cool. All right, so next we have our section that is our quick submit. Let's review what we're looking at here. Ah, my pen! Get back here! All right. Here's what we're looking at. Oh, we could just switch back to this camera because it's a lot bigger. I mean, might as well, right? So here's the section we're looking at. This is going to be just a section of the homepage that's a quick submission form. Right here. You have a drop-down selection. You can select a game. You can select categories based on the game you selected. This is a sort of a smart feature that is conditional on the game you select, and I don't think we can do that sort of relationship quite yet. We don't have the technology on here to do that, so we'll just do simple ones. And then we have our labels for time and points, and then we have a submit button. So it's a very simple form, simple HTML form. So you're playing Fethra. How do you say FE3H as like a word? You're playing Fee or Fe. Three Houses is fun though. I do want to stream that again. But I am hard on myself with that game. I just love playing really difficulties when it comes to Fire Emblem. So we have a section class, but do we want to make this a form instead? Homepage speedrun form. Do I have to class the section? Do I have to? I don't think I need to class the section. I will class the form though. Oh, what was the action? I'm not even showing you what I'm doing. Dingus. So anyway, this is what I did. Got our form here. Post or is the action get or post? Yeah! Guzma and Team Skull. My overweight, what? Does it though? Yeah, I'm working, but my overlay says break time. We gotta take a break for this song. We got to. Just stop everything. Team Skull has arrived. No, we're not stopping. All right. What? We're going for select. We're just gonna build out our the frame here. The framework of this form is going to be inputs, but there's also going to be label. There we go. And then submit. Nope, it's got to be a button, right? Button type. Submit. Perfect. There we go. So select is basically like a list. You can select a bunch of options. All right, everyone. This is where you get to participate. I want you to each give me one game you want to include on the speedrun game list. What? And we're going to go for 100%. We're going to go for any percent. And then we're going to go for Guzma percent. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to do tomato percent. So we're going to do a simple one. We're going to do The Legend of Zelda. Perfect. We know our audience. Ah, we got some Breath of the Wild, too. Let that play while we're silent here. Yeah, we'll do that. That works. All right. So we got our options here. Name, games. ID, games. We'll just call it that. Call it category. ID, category. Sure. Why not? Do we want labels for these? Probably. Label for games is games. Very easy. We want a label for category. We're going to call it categories. And we'll also do a colon. We actually have to use... Oh, that's loud. Let's go for that. We're going to go with... we have to do a special character, I think, for this. New blank space. I think that's what we got to do. Because we can't just do spacing on the code editor or the text editor like this. We have to do a special character. I forgot what the technical term for this is, but it starts with ampersand, and it tails off with a short code with a semicolon. Input type text name. This is a label for time. ID time. We'll just do that. We'll follow the same nomenclature that the select is using. Name is points. Call that points. And then we need to add the values here. The values are going to be... Wait, why can't I do spaces? Am I an idiot? No, I'm not an idiot. I just didn't think about that. I thought too hard. Probably thought too hard. The value. The value is a string. And I'm pretty sure that this is important, the spacing, because when you select the option, it's going to capture the value, which includes the spacing. And if you're going to if you're going to make any attempts to read an array of values and try to find a specific ID on a table or something like that, you need to keep that in mind. So let's do... We're going to do the values here as well. There we go. And tomato %. Label for time. Not tiom. Tiom. And we're going to do points. We're going to do points. Type submit. Action. I forget. Action. Form. Let's consult the MDN. See what we got here. So the HTML form element represents a document section containing interactive controls for submitting information. Method. Get and post are the methods. I remember that. But action was what exactly? This looks like a lot of work. Hey, thanks for following, man. That's DBZ4. Assassin Volk. Either one. So, let's go ahead and give Dragon Ball Z warm welcome, one of our 5 power enforcers so far. We call it work. It's not work if you love doing it. If you love creating websites and experiences for people, it's not really work. It is effort. That's for sure. I would say that. I know it's words, but I would say there is effort, but it doesn't have to be a job, if you know what I mean. The URL it's a URL. I don't even need that. Action is nothing. Action blank, I think, means that all activity that form occurs within the same web page the form exists in. So if you do not specify a URL, it just assumes that you're sending the information or receiving the information from that same document. If memory serves me well, I think that's what that means. Action method is post. Class. Did I just... Anyway. Okay, we've completed our form. Let's review. Blech. Why is it... What is happening? Section. I will move the class back up to section. Section main. Class main is called... We're just going to call it homepage content. And we're going to act... Oh, yeah, we can do that. Can we? Let's think about this. Yes, absolutely we can. Homepage content, display, flex. We're going to do flex direction column this time. And justify content. Let's start. Yeah, we'll do that. And then homepage content section. Flex 1. Let's see if that corrects the problem. Yep, sure does. Love quick layouts with Flexbox. It's fantastic. Oh, you're playing Bug Fables, that Paper Mario like. That's wonderful. What do you think of that game so far? You said you got into it, so I guess that tells me enough about how into it you are. Alright, so just check out our form too. We don't have it styled yet, so when you change the view width, it gets scrunched up. Our labels aren't appearing, though, for that. Did we put labels? Nah, we didn't. Time. All we gotta do is refresh. There we go. So we got our games. We can select between our games, no problem. Yep. Grids are a great thing. CSS grid's great. It's not one I use though. I'm trying to master Flexbox and be comfortable doing layouts in that, and then I'll dabble in grid afterwards. It's a great game. Everyone should play it. You can make it excruciatingly difficult with certain metal setups. Mega said he'll be streaming it sometime this month. All right. Yep. Do a do-nothing run of Bug Fables. Okay, so when you click submit, it's submitting within the page. It doesn't do anything. It's not, the form's not going to do anything yet. So, there's that. All right. We've made our form. We're not going to do many fancy stylings just yet. We're just trying to get ideas onto the page. So now, is this Radiant Dawn? Is this Radiant Dawn? Be still my heart. It's just a great game. Very much under-mentioned game. Path of Radiance is mentioned way more than this one is. Oh, man. Brandon! It's the Blue Angel. He's in. Welcome, sir. Glad to have you aboard. Yeah, don't spoil. That's okay. You don't have to spoil the game there. Brandon, you are not a VIP. Why am I slacking? Hold on a second. Blue Angel. The Blue Angel. VIP. Save. Did we fix it? Is it fixed? I sure hope it is. Oh, yes. So I'm currently beginning a stream project to build my web design portfolio. It is a website about submitting video game speedruns. And we're just starting with the home page and just kind of jotting down ideas as they come and making stuff. We're basing the featured speedrunner on a user that viewer that just came in and graced us with a follow and has really nice to chat with. And one of their favorite games was The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, which I didn't put the Skyrim part. Slacker! It's got a subtitle, genius. Put it in there. Continue. Skyrim. There it is. Oh well. Anyway. Oi, oi, oi. Man. Here's the funny part. So, for all of you watching, hey, Taju22! Hello! And using those PowerPoints. Right now, I think I only have message highlighting. Hello, world. What an appropriate message. Fantastic. How long have I been doing stuff like this? So, officially, I did freelance web design for about 1.5 years. That was back in that was all of 2014 and a little bit of 2015, or most of 2014, a little bit of 2015. So that was a while ago. Things have changed, and I feel that professionally I'm in a better position to take these skills and develop them and do it in a mature and sort of focused way. I was kind of just flying out of the seat of my pants, learning stuff back then, which was fine. I got exposed to just so many cool things, and also had some learning experiences failing at projects and delivering on things. Had successes. That whole experience was wonderful, looking back. It didn't feel that way sometimes back then, but to try to start a business and fail and learn a lot from it was very, very valuable and rewarding. Shine bright like a diamond. I'm just being flooded with all the little one-liners Brandon's always thrown at me over the years. Oh man. But Ju22, thanks man for joining. And yeah, so this is what we've built so far. We are going to finish the footer HTML. So we're going to work on that next. Here it is down here. Oh, thank you, man. So for those of you who weren't around for the beginning part of the stream, there was a user who obviously very interested in what was going on. I thought it was Mystic. I think it was Mystic. Was asking, hey, so what naming convention are you using? And had you asked me that a year ago, I'd been like, what are you talking about? And then I learned about BEM. I actually, this isn't, I don't know if this is a naming, oh, not the naming thing. Yeah, that was somebody else. Oh, that was, I don't remember the name of this person, but they had 5 letters in their name. That's what all it was. Pixel. Yeah, there you go. Um, I did learn Smacks, SMA CSS, and that's states. Gosh, cannot. It was a way to structure CSS files to group portions of your oh gosh, how do I describe it? You know, we have the internet. It's amazing. There it is. That's what I learned first. Scalable and modular architecture for CSS. And it goes into CSS styling rules. So this isn't really a naming convention for classes, per se. This is just a way to structure your CSS in a rational way. So base rules, basically your base styles, which reference HTML tags directly. And then you go into something like state rules, which based on whether or not a link is active or you're hovering over an element, you define your styles in there. So CSS style sheet structure and grouping your styles in a meaningful way. That's what I learned at first, and that helped me a lot. And the goal, yeah, and like FireKitty is basically saying, the goal is to keep everything clean and organized so it makes sense. So that if you ever have to work on a big project on a team and you need to present what you're working on to somebody else so that they can help in some way, that they can look at this and say, I understand what you're doing here. And maybe they don't work in quite the same way you do, but they can look at that at a glance and say, oh, so that's why you're grouping it in this way. And they can engage with your project a lot faster and more expediently than if you were just throwing things everywhere, no indentations, spacing, and new lines, anything like that. So I learned Smacks, and then you've got block element modifier, which is what I'm using today. Revolutionary. I love this. And I'm a big fan of semantic HTML and CSS. I'm a big fan of being able to look at a document and saying, I know what that's for, and I know where to find that style, and I know where it goes on the page. And I don't have to worry about making changes. And then I actually went onto a website. Oh, where do I go? ITCSS. I went to a website called Skillshare, which I have a trial of right now. And someone did a 60-minute course on ITCSS. Does it even have? Is there even a? This is it. It just goes to a Twitter page. Here we go. Oh, interesting. This is the guy. This is the guy that I learned from. It's pretty funny. Scott Sullivan. He basically goes into the basics of this mindset of understanding CSS specificity and how it interacts as your project scales upward or scales outward. So if your project's getting more complex, as I can't give you a concrete example because I'm not a professional, but I'm trying to articulate as best I can what this is. You can basically use this ITCSS mindset to control the complexity of your style sheets in a way that prevents obstacles from happening in the future. So if you have 1,000 lines of CSS styles in your website, this helps you avoid trappings like you have. Let's just say you do something like this. All right, let me just give you a concrete VS code example. We'll go into the CSS file, make a new line. Let's just clear this out. You'll avoid situations where you have class 1, right? You have a color, red, okay, and then you have class. Then you have oh wait a minute, but then you're on the contact page, and you have a contact class, but then you also have a class 1 under that. And for that one, you changed it to a color blue because, well, blue made sense on that page. And then you have a body with class. Don't touch this. And you want to touch the class 1 underneath that body. And you want to change it to a color green. And let's just say you have 1,000 lines of code like that. Make everything blue. Sure, why the heck not? Let's just say you have H1 of title. No, that doesn't make any sense. You have section, title, UL, class 1. Guess what? Color is cyan. Let's just say you have something like this going on. You have 1,000 lines of that, whatever it might be. Can you look at this and tell me how each of those class 1s are going to have their colors applied? No, you can't. Not very well. Because why? Well, what if you've got class 1 here is the base color. That's what we start with. But then you have a class 1 underneath the contact class. It's going to take blue, right? But what if you have contact class underneath a body with class don't touch this, class 1? All the class 1s underneath this body are going to be the color green, right? No, because contact is probably below body. It's more specific than this style is. So basically ITCSS is a way to avoid having to go back and forth and spend hours going through previous styles to find out where problems are. Because you could be trying to make a change and you could be pouring so much time into making that change when if you had structured it correctly the first time, you would make a change and know exactly where to go. And then you're frustrated and trying to figure out, why can't I adjust this margin to the way that I want it for the layout? I have to go back to line 230 just to find the problem, but I don't know that 230 is the problem. I just know that I just put this style on line 1000 and it's not working, and I have to go through all 1000 lines and make changes just to figure out what happened. That was a very roundabout way of explaining that. But anyway, the videos themselves were very insightful, and it was really fun to watch. So there you go. Anyway, we're not saving that. We're deleting that. Let's finish the header. How about that? Or footer, excuse me. So let's go back and review what we're working on for the footer. The footer is right here. We have a sitemap on the left side with an unordered list of links. And this will be links to other web pages. And then we have on the right here some contact details. Okay. Kitty offered the suggestion we link to the contact page rather than have clickable links. Like, as an example, I'll go in the HTML here. And if I make an anchor tag, I could say mail to ptm at PowerToMario.com, which isn't real. And I just put email PowerToMario.com. The problem with this reference link here, you have these scripted web crawlers, the best way I can put it. People make programs to crawl the web, go to different websites, find vulnerabilities, this would be one of them, where once you click this link, it takes you directly to your email client's email message draft. And people can automate email submissions. It can copy paste bodies of text and links and other malicious stuff, attachments, and they've got like task sequences they built onto their desktop that automates this stuff, and they can send out spam emails to whoever they want all over the internet. And this presents an opportunity for them to do that. Putting all this information into a contact form forces you to fill out that form with the appropriate fields. So that's another layer of defense from spam. And form validation in HTML is a huge advantage to you. If you want to make sure that the people that are sending you emails are really actually trying to send you an email and not just trying to get at you, attack you, try to get information. So, oh, he's playing Tails? Kitsu, have fun, man. Have a great night. Thank you so much. So anyway, we're done talking. Time to build. Sitemap, right? Very easy. I'll do an H2 that says sitemap. We're going to create an unordered list. Href. And our websites, what are we at? We're at, we're going to do home. I think we've got 3 pages, right? We've got the... Where was I at? Scroll back up and we'll find out. Submit a speedrun top 10s, okay? I'm going to submit a speedrun. Top 10s. Is this Sonic Mania? I love this. Nope. Mighty Switch Force 2. It just sounds very Sonic. I'm sure they were inspired. That's a great song, though. Alright, so there's our sitemap. Very, very easy. Website main footer. We need to make a table of contents entry for this. Okay. So we've got website main footer. Perfect. So 3. Website. And we're going to clean this table of contents up because I realized I did a featured section, but I also have the submission form section. So next time I do this stream with this website, we're going to clean that up a bit. We're just going to wrap up with this. So website main footer. Display flex. Flex direction row. Just by content. Flex start. Perfect. And then website main footer. We're going to have some elements for that block. Sitemap and contact information. Sitemap. Flex 1. Website main footer. Contact information. Flex 1. Now let's go back to the HTML here. And we've already built out that one section. Now let's go ahead and build out the other section. This is not going to be an href. We're going to make this a paragraph tag instead. So email tomato, P-tomato, PowerToMario. That's Kirby. That ain't Mario. And then what we're going to do next. Oh, we're going to do a copyright section. And I know the short code for that is copy Mario 2020. Easy peasy. Let's just take a look at what we've got so far for the footer. There you go. Really easy. Layouts are so easy. 2 columns. One with your contact details. One with the sitemap. And look at the links. They don't go anywhere. but they can. And watch this. VS Code has a way to contract all the elements based on what you want to contract. So that's really fun. Just wanted to show that off a little bit. I am going to copy this footer over to our Necromancer page. Perfect. Just like we wanted it. And we'll save it. And just to prove that these links work, I am going to do index.html. Note for next time, we've been dealing with these, the ways that we interact with pages at different levels of the directory. So obviously on index, we're at the root, so I can list root links. However, when we go over to Necromancer, I have to reference home as this. I have to go back to the top level because I'm at a lower level because I'm underneath the runners folder. And that's how we'll be able to complete the link structure. Here we go. Let's refresh. And if I click list of speedrun times for Necromancer, I'm taken to his page. And if I click home, I'm back to the home page. Check that out. Okay. And I know you don't see my cursor, so just a quick question. You haven't seen my cursor the entire time. So do you feel that it would be helpful to see my cursor? And let me see if I can maybe change that. I go onto here, I go to properties, capture cursor. So here's my cursor. So you see it right now. Go to list run times. You can see what I'm clicking on. So I'm describing something to you. I know you can kind of see it on screen, but I think it might be more helpful to do that. Because sometimes when I'm interacting with stuff on here, I move all over the place. Annoys my wife. I'm idle. I'm pacing around the room, or I'm just kind of like doing this, or doing this typical gamer thing where even when there's nothing to do on screen, I'm tapping A or I'm clicking the button. I did it in League of Legends all the time. I think it's sort of you keep yourself warm or active so that you can react to things. I did that on League of Legends all the time where I'm just right-clicking movement, even though it doesn't benefit me to do that necessarily. I see it all the time. Oh. There's our Sonic song, which doesn't sound very Sonic. That sounds very Uniracers. Don't feel called out. That's an indictment of every gamer everywhere, I feel like. Many of them. So, anyway, look at our website. It doesn't look very good, but this is the first step, you know. And now I've logged basically, I've taken, 15, 20-minute breaks. So how much time have we spent? 2 hours, 15 minutes on this website. And I want to keep track of my time too. So today is January 7, 2020, and we're going to call it 2 hours, 15 minutes. Because I really, and there's a value to this, tracking the time. I want to know what I'm capable of doing in certain times. I want to know how long does it take me. Now, I'm not going for speed here. I know I could make something like this in far less time than I spent today. But I was very careful to research different ways to organize my work. I am sort of disappointed that I didn't do one thing, and that was comment on the HTML itself. However, I have saved myself in that you'll notice that because we followed this BEM naming convention, block element modifier. We'll get to modifiers once we actually style the page. Excuse me. I've named these classes meaningfully. Therefore, I could get away with a small project to not do so many comments. I will do comments for sure when we're dealing with complex components that require scripts and other languages, because I do want to explain how it works in brief using a comment, so that when I go back to it, I can understand myself, hey, what was I building this for? What is the purpose of this? It's helpful for yourself to track stuff like that. You have a proposal for a stream idea, huh? So, here we go. We've got a lot to work with here. So I know some of you may not understand everything on the page. Some of you do. That's okay. If you have questions, ask them. If I don't know the answer, then that means I'm going to learn something new today, and so are you. So feel free to just chime in anytime and ask something. That is encouraged. And the best way to do that, to get your question noticed, if you look on your chat window, or if you're on your phone, look below, you'll find a little red M emblem with some numbers next to it, or a number next to it. Those are PowerPoints. So you can go in and type a message. Unlock a random sub emote. I got a sub emote thing on there too. So you can be like, do it like this. Yeah, you all know how to do that. Brandon knows, Fire Kitty knows. That's fun. Yeah, and then I'll see that on the chat and I'm like, oh, hey, someone's got something to say. Get noticed. Ah, that was self-serving. If you know how anyone can learn. Hey, self-deprecation doesn't work there, buddy. I know you better than that. Hey there. This is Coliseum, right? XD. Or is this Battle Revolution? Oh, it is Battle Revolution. That's right. This is actually my favorite song from that game, and I didn't know it was from that game. That's a judgment on PBR as a standalone title. Didn't have enough in it. I wish it had story and just fun things to do other than battle. But can't have everything. Alright, well, this isn't really break time. This is, well, let's just appropriately name this. This is the cooldown. Cooling down. I'm done doing web design. So if you all don't want to stick around, you want to do other things, that's fine. I encourage you to stay, though, because we are going to raid a channel. We're going to do this after every stream. So if you're here for the end, stay. This is probably one of the best parts of being a Twitch streamer, is being able to help other Twitch streamers succeed and to introduce you to different experiences and different people. So when we do the raid, I wonder. So what I've seen in raids, the basic thing is you go to a channel, you type a common message just to show that person, hey, you're getting raided, and it's awesome. I typically do Power Raid, but it sounds too much like Powerade, the drink. So maybe we can come up with something contextual for what we're doing here, or something funny. So I'll leave it up to you guys to come up with some ideas about what you would want to go with, and I'll just pick one and we'll just do that. So, oh, my throat though. Talking. Huh. Gotta take care of myself. Huh. Yeah. I've got water too. Power takeover. That sounds too political. That sounds too authoritarian. We can go with that. I like that though. Catchy and fun. Power takeover. Let's do that. Let's just do that. Let's just not beat around the bush here. So when we do this raid, we're going to do power takeover. I am going to look. I wonder, should I do... Path to affiliate completed. Haven't I already done? I thought I was already an affiliate. I was pretty sure I was already an affiliate because I looked on the stream manager and saw that already. Yeah. They updated it? Oh, for this year? I wonder if it's a little bit different. So, I see. Okay. Oh, yeah, you guys get ads too? Ah. Yeah. See, I don't know how I feel because I do have an option on my stream manager where I can slap a 60-minute ad in your face and make a couple pennies off of you. That's being real. That's really there now, so. Yeah. Yeah, Mega does that too, like breaks and stuff. I could have done it during my breaks, but I don't know how I feel about that yet. Because to me, it's for the people that make a living off of it, I guess. But I'm not trying to make this my job, you know. But I love streaming. I love talking with you guys and being able to share evenings with you and share what I love to do. And I love other people being able to do the same thing. But now, Zelda. Hey, Brandon. Hey, Brandon. Hey, Brandon. It's your song. Twilight Princess. See, hot take. Well, actually, simmering take. Twilight Princess's soundtrack is 1,000 times better than its predecessor, Ocarina of Time. Don't at me. It's superior in almost every way. Sorry, Koji. Koji Kondo. Way better. More superior. Alright, guys. This is it. This is the raid time. Let me find a streamer to raid, and let's go ahead and do not what I was about to do. I was about to copy over some HTML text to you. Let's do power takeover. This is a good at. No, it's not. One moment. I will give you someone to raid. I will do it. We've been watching web design, so I'm going to do a stream. Okay. Recommended live channels. Well, let's take a look at these recommended live channels. That's Sword, though. I don't want to give you guys a game that's been recent, though. Oh. Yeah, guys, by the way, if you want to join the Discord, just ask for an invite from us, via Kitty or me, and we'll take care of you. Absolutely. And say hi to new people. Rules are simple. Treat each other with kindness and encouragement. Don't insult and be aggressive towards people, and just enjoy yourselves. Try to keep the language to a minimum if you can, but we're pretty relaxed there. Bob-omb dabs. Luigi dabs. Not all about dabbing there, but it is pretty fun, all those emotes. Alright, I gotta decide on somebody. Gotta decide. Maybe a game instead. Who's playing Skyward Sword? That's a thought, you know? Let's do a speedrunner. We did a speedrun website, didn't we? So let's help out a speedrunner. Is that a category on here? Let's try this. Speedrun. Oh, man. We are number one emotes. Nope, there's not a good speedrun category. Alright. How's about... Paper Mario streaming. Ooh. All right, I've got it. Any of you that are here. Oh, you have it though? Oh, let's see. I found one actually that I want to go into. Let me mute my desktop audio. So I'm going to mute that for a second. Let me listen to this guy. Yes, absolutely. Guess what, guys? I'm Glower is the guy. Get ready for a power takeover of I'm Glower. Are you ready? Stay in chat, and I want you to give him that tag. Okay? He is doing any percent of Paper Mario. The world record is an hour, 39 minutes and 52 seconds. I want you to say hello to him. I want you to encourage him as he's trying to break the world record at Paper Mario. It's a wonderful game. If you stick around, if I'm right, you're going to see some really insane skips and glitches. So it's fun. Get ready. This has been PowerToMario. Thank you for joining me on Web Design Tuesday. Could have said Wednesday, but it's not Wednesday. So see ya. Let's raid. In 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, bye.